Hi folks, welcome to today's build. This one's a mock, although it's a mock with obviously a few official sets in amongst it as well. You've seen some of this before because the base of this and inspiration for this was the Space Diner set, which was a gift with purchase that came out earlier this year. We did see obviously the speed build of that shortly after it came out. So that was basically where this all started from. And there's also a couple other sets appeared in here. As you can see, there's the row of minifigures as well. These have come out of the sets which have been included in this build. I'll just give you a quick spin round of the actual full modular, and I'll then break it down floor by floor and get a look at it as we go through the video. So that's pretty much the outside of it. Obviously you can see we've got the downstairs where the actual Space Diner is, and we've got a middle floor here which is like a NASA museum type thing, a place that can obviously have visitors around to see the space buggies and vehicles that are on the go. And then we've got the top floor up here, which you can maybe see a wee bit in there. There's computers and stuff at the back of the screen, sorry, the back of the office there. That's more like a working office part. And we have a telescope station up the top here, which is obviously from a set as well, which you'll probably possibly recognise, but I'll go into details for that. And obviously that's the rest of the building at the bottom there, to the side. And that's the front again. So you can see, and obviously the cafe area, which is the original Space Diner, which obviously you see the sign there for the diner. That's the diner part that's in there. You can see the alien basically through the window there. I'll go through, obviously, once I go take the floors off and go through it a lot more. We've got obviously the NASA visitor attraction type part in the middle floor there, and then up here we've got the office area. Again, you could possibly see there's computers and stuff in there, and we have the access onto the roof basically to get into the telescope area. And there's a wee tub of fuel up the top there as well. See if I'm going to get the fuel up to the top. So that's basically the outside. Obviously you've probably noticed that there is wires there as well, so there are some lights to come on, which obviously isn't a big surprise. But yeah, we'll go floor by floor and just have a look at the building, and obviously go through the actual sets that are included in this, so you can get a view of what's actually involved in here. Yeah, so we've got a wee bit of a weird angle here, but I'm just trying to look into the actual building itself. So I'll just close the door just now and get a bit more access in there. So you can see obviously that there's the space alien there, and that was part of the Alien Space Diner gift with purchase set, same as the floor there and the seating. And also we've got the kitchen there, which we'll go to in a second. But yeah, that was all part of 40687, the Space Diner GWP. So I'll try and spin it around to get you to see. So I've obviously added in some seats to the build, so that these ones are obviously extra, and there's some more under the top here. And I've also expanded the tiling all the way through to the main door. And if I can see, we've got the counter there now for the people coming in to order the food. And the kitchen area is through the back there, so you can just about see that's the cooker area and all that just in there. So it's basically spread the diner out across the whole modular floor. So the alien's obviously there, but the alien's more of a centrepiece than an actual alien serving food now. We'll get the minifigs in a second as well, but we'll have a minifig, a space minifig. One of the space minifigs that came with the original set is a cook, and one is a waiter or waitress going around the tables to also get the orders. And as you can see just about there's a couple of seats in the window as well, which if I come round this way you should be able to see them. It's not very easy to see, but yeah, they're under that windows there. There's a couple of seats and a single seat at the side of the side of the building there. But one of the things you'll probably notice at the back of the building there is the walls, which is also a set as well. So again, that's one that was recently done as a speed build, stop motion build on my channel. And you can see there, obviously that's one of the panels. It's part of the Tales of the Space Age art set, or Lego Ideas set, as it was. That one came out, I think it's still actually available at the moment as well. That's set number 21340, the Lego Ideas. So obviously that's the one with the green panel, and you can see the green at the bottom there with the planet on it. That one is the pink and reddish type one, which has the shuttle launching off of it. And we've got the blue one at the back there with the comet going through the sky with the shooting stars and whatever on it. So that's formed part of the wall, which you can almost see if I tip up a wee bit. That's formed the obviously the outside of the wall for the Space Diner, and you probably noticed it on there, but that's the blue bit there obviously as well, with the studs for the shooting stars inside. So that's basically what built up the bottom. It was that two sets, the Space Diner and the Tales of the Space Age, is the main part of the back end and obviously the floor of the set. What you'll also possibly notice is the front here. That part there was a separate part, and this part here was another separate part, which I've also combined together. But both of these were part of the Rocket Launch Centre, which is actually a retired set now. It was 60351. It was available at the start of the year, but it is actually retired now. But yeah, that came with obviously a rocket launch pad, and also this area here, which is like a garage type area, which you can see the roof, sorry, the garage door closing there. So I've incorporated that as the main door to the building, which also goes down to there. And that's now the main access to the building. And this area here, which is like an operator's kind of area for the Rocket Launch Centre, is now just part of the actual external for the actual cafe or diner as it is. I'll just tip up a wee bit, you can see in there a wee bit better. So yeah, that's the frontage of the building, and the two parts of that build stuck together to make the front of it, and just obviously combined it and jointing the bits together between the two different parts of the build. So that's almost the ground floor done actually. You'll see there's actually a set of stairs here, which is coming up to the next floor up. I'll try and tip it again. So we've got a wee door at the bottom there, and the stairs go up the side of the building to access the NASA visitors area at the top of the stairs. But it does actually have a main stair outside as well, which they can obviously come up and go straight into the top floor without coming from the main street, which is obviously, this part will be on the front of the street sort of thing, and this will be on the background into the side street or the garden area, wherever it goes in the city. But this is like the back of the building, so you can come round the back and come up the stairs straight into the building, or there is a smaller staircase access which comes out onto the main walkway, pavement or whatever you want to call it, at the front here. So that's basically the ground floor kind of covered. And just got a quick spin round, like see it again. So obviously you can see there's some features from the diner set. There's a wee rocket that's actually movable there. That's part of the set as well, which I've also just tried to incorporate as much as I can from all the different sets that I'm using into the actual build, so that the features are kind of all there and in use. But as I say, that's kind of the ground floor, so we'll just move on to the next floor. So moving into the middle floor, this is the kind of NASA visitor centre, like a public access bit, just to get in and see some of the machinery and stuff that they actually use. Obviously like space hovercraft and the rover that's sitting there. So just quickly flip through that obviously. So as you can see, there's a couple of classic space elements appeared in the build as well as obviously there's a new part there, the battery pack thing, which came with the set as well. The set obviously I've mentioned there, it was another gift with purchase actually. It was the NASA Mars rover Perseverance and Space Hover Bike. So that's the the hover bike at the corner there, which is obviously up on a brick, just to show it. And there's the rover and Perseverance at the centre stage part, the main part of the image, in front of you there. We've got a few little builds, like a little build of a rocket, and the space, I don't know what's meant to be space, vegetation or rock crystals, whatever they're also included there as well. So you can also see there's a small office space being made there, a little computer at a desk with a seat, and the back of the computer there actually has the classic space. If I just tip this up, actually take that out first because that will fall about, but it actually has the classic space logo on there, and watch the rover not falling about as well. So yeah, you can see it there. It's got the classic space and the NASA logos at the front of the building as well. And also it's one small part of one of the other sets as well. I think it was the rocket launch one. We've got the wee robot, which has the light brick included in it as well, which is a really cool little function. This lights him up nice. It is actually quite bright as well. Light brick's obviously quite new, so the battery's quite good in that. So that's included in the display there as well. So yep, not an awful lot in there. Obviously we've got a little rack of tools and stuff that I put together, just a little display, if I can bring that up a little bit. Just made a little display with some of the parts, again trying to utilise the parts that came with the sets that I've used to build this. So I made a little tool station with the tools that came with it, and with a couple of the parts that came. I think that's the back of the Space Diner sign, the original sign that came with the Space Diner GWP, which I've just mounted onto a Technic piece to give me basically a board that I can stick the tools onto. But yeah, that's basically it. It's obviously used a lot of the glass panel parts to build the walls, and they've got panel walls as well for the back and sides. Sorry, the two sides, the back's glass as well, or plastic obviously, but you know what I mean. It's windows, and obviously there's a little gap in the window which you probably noticed just here, but we'll fill that in later because there is another part to come for that. But that's basically the middle floor, and there's not an awful lot to it. You can obviously see we've got the staircase which comes up from the floor below, appears just at the bottom there, and then you come up and walk up. It's hard to see because it's all black obviously, but you just walk up the stair there, and there's a little banister around the side, and then you turn and come back up the next set of stairs to get to the next level. So this building's all complete, so you can actually get from the different levels, or between the levels, as you'd expect. It's kind of basing the design on the standard kind of Lego modular building type. So yeah, part of that is obviously they do include stairs to get between the floors to make it more realistic as well. So I have got a staircase built in at one side of the building, and it goes right the way up to the top. So yeah, I think next stage is we'll have a quick look at the roof portion, the next floor up rather, and the roof portion next. So I'll just get that onto the turntable now. So the next part we have, as I said, is the top proper floor. We've also still got the roof part here as well, but we've taken that off just now. That's lying outside there, so we can see into the floor here. So again, we've carried on the glass panel at the front here, and the same sort of colouring to the rest of the building as well. That blue colours and the white as well. And we have the top of the stairs appearing here, which is a staircase from the floor below obviously. So that brings you up onto the stair here, if you can get a bit more light into it. So you can see the stairs appear here. You then get the walkway around to get to what is the hub of the operation. So you can see there we've got the panels and various computers and whatnot on the desk there. We've got a smaller row of panels here as well, and a larger one there, another of those battery packs that came in. They're actually really cool sets. Let's take that one off for you to see. Really nice little printed part, if I can get that in it's not really coming out, but it is actually a sparkly purple, blue purple kind of bit, with obviously a battery icon on top, so I assume it's meant to be a battery power source, presumably from another dimension, another planet, whatever. But yeah, it's a really nice sparkly little part that's on that, and really nice effect on it. So I'll just put it back on there just now. But yeah, that's part of the build there. It's just been put on top because I say it came with one of the other sets. Most of this level's actually been based from the 60351, the rocket launch centre. Again, the computers and stuff that came as part of the rocket launch centre one. The big dome that you can see at the front here, this is actually the telescope station. So you can see there's a little drone in there as well, part of the build that came with it, which I now dropped. Which came with it, that stays in here as well. And if I can put it back on without moving about too much, so that'll be a no. There we go. So yeah, this is part of the actual build itself, and this part's unchanged. We've got the movable telescope. You can see it goes up and down with the twist of the top there, and the little microscope bit there as well, if you can see that. It's got a little plate with like a little germ type thing on it, which I'm not able to move. There we go, it's moving. So there's a little 1x1 circular plate with a picture of like a germ on top, which obviously the microscope's then looking at. But yeah, that, as I said, that was part of the original build. It had its own booklet, so I can show you that exactly. So that's basically the front. You can see in the background. That's the front door there, with the garage door type access, which I've basically just lifted that whole thing and put it in there next to the other part of the build. So that's that part there, and the dome that was sitting in the roof is this dome here. So I've basically just lifted that up. As you can see, I've raised it. Hope not too much falls off. So I've raised it up onto like a pillar there to give it a bit of height, because obviously it's now not on top of the roof of that part of the build, it's now in its own part of the roof. I decided to put it separate rather than just put it on the roof of this part. If I just close it up there. So yeah, it's still there, but basically so that you can get access to it as well, because I'll put the roof on in a second, you'll see what I mean, but that basically lets you access. So what I've done is added a floor here, so you can come out, and obviously there's a couple of steps to get up. You can go onto the floor, walk around the building, and you'll find there's another step at the back there. Get some light on it, so you can carry on up the stairs to get you up onto the roof, and that then gives you access to the actual telescope part. You can also see around, again, these are part of the launch centre, so I've reused all that on the roof, and the same with the octane fuel, that was part of the build for that as well. So again, I've used as much as I can. Same with space rock as well. That's obviously been included. Oh, well, I've got this up, I'll show you. I've also got a toilet built in, so for the guys working, they can come up, and you can't really see in there, but there is a bathroom and a toilet and a sink in the little room there, which is their toilet for the building, obviously. And yeah, you've got the office space at the bottom there, as I say, with the computers and everything, that'd be where they work. And you've got a door to get out into the roof there as well. So I'll put it back down before I end up dropping it, but that's basically all there is to the actual top. I'm taking out my minifigures now as well. So yeah, that's basically the top floor done there. So what I'll also do is just add on the roof part. So as you can see, there's a couple of classic space parts arrived in this as well. That satellites were part. That one's part of the actual build that came with the actual space launch part. This one was actually the small parts, small satellite parts that were on the bottom of the Tales of the Space Age, the art set. That was the bottom of the blue one. so I've also kept them and put them on the roof here. And you can see there's another another classic space part appeared there, which does look a bit random, but I'll just show you in a second why it's actually there. So I'll just push that down on that. So yeah, as I said, for getting into here, we've obviously got the staircase that comes up onto the roof, but you still obviously to get in there. So what that is for is if we drop down the door, we can get the door to drop down on there, and then the minifigure can just basically walk up that small ramp and then walk into the telescope area there, for when they're way to look at the stars and whatever with the telescope. So yeah, that was the reason for having that. Obviously it's an excuse just to put another classic space part into the build to make it more spacey, but yeah, if I found that was an actual function it could use, so I added it in. What you also see as well, which is a little side issue I'll go into more depth for our future, because it's not specific to this set, but the actual lights on this has actually come on as well, so you can possibly see if I can get that dark enough. The space rock is actually lit up a wee bit there, because I've got a LED in the actual rock so that it comes on. As you saw, I didn't actually turn it on because what I've done, I know there's obviously pros and cons with lighting, and people don't always like lighting up the Lego, and it's fiddly and obviously very expensive. A lot of light sets are as expensive as some of the Lego sets as well. So what I've been doing, partly promoted by laziness probably as well actually, but what I've been doing is getting cheap sets off of like Amazon, which is basically just a basic string, lead string set. Come in about £5 to £10, British pounds, roughly. And what I've actually done, if I can just tip this up without breaking too much, it should be okay. So that lead string is now on the bottom here. So I've used a couple of Technic parts, you can just about see them there. I've got a couple of Technic, quite long ones in this case, but I've got other builds I've used shorter ones to get around corners and whatever. But basically the lead string is just going back and forth between the hoops, so between the holes in the Lego and Technic strip, and that's holding the lights on. And the other function of this, the laziness part of it, is that it's actually on a timer. So every day at the same time it'll come on for 6 hours, and that's it lit up. Because the other part of the city, obviously, if you've either got to plumb them all into the mains and have them turn on with a switch when you actually turn them on, or you have to go in and operate all the battery packs. So the way I do my city, as you can see here, the bottom is not on. There is lights in the bottom part as well. Just pull that forward a little bit. There's lights in the bottom part as well, but they're actually manually controlled, and they will be plugged into the actual city. And I've got like a mains structure, if you like, that'll go to a USB port. They plug in, it then comes on when I turn it on. They'll come on at the same time. But that plays the bottom part basically. That's I've got the bottom half lit up, and that's when they light up. What I've started doing on the top floor is to put the lights on the timer one. I know I've just disappeared off the screen for a second, but I'll just bring it back in. So that's it now on the timer, and at the same time every day it comes on for 6 hours, stays on, and then it disappears off again. So that then saves me having to come in, get the battery box, fiddle about, trying to turn them on, blah blah blah. They all come on themselves. So yeah, what I'll try and do, if I'm a wee bit brave, I'll try and tip up a wee bit to make it easier to see as well. There is actual lights in the top part, so you can also see it there without tipping it. There's a light that's in the top, and there's another one that's in this area here, lighting up inside. So you can see that the computer area, I'll tip it a wee bit, the computer area is kind of lit up inside there. But the main part obviously is that it's now shining into the main part of the visitor area. So every night that part will light up itself. You can see it a wee bit better there. You can see the reflections on the plastic panels there. That's actually lit up. So yeah, that allows it to come on itself obviously every night. I've got the battery pack actually just hidden here, so that panel actually just comes off as one. Obviously there's a no stud at the end of that part there, so that allows me to actually put a blank on, and it means it looks like it's clipped on, but it's not actually clipped on, so that whole panel can come off. But what it also does is I've put the battery pack underneath the bit of floor here. You can see obviously I've added a minifigure in there now, so the bit that you walk around to get up onto the roof is actually just an empty floor, and the battery pack actually stays in there. So when I do need to also change the batteries, I can get into it and just do it from there. And obviously I can turn it on and off from there as well, but as I say, I'll leave it on because it's the whole point is it comes on itself. So when I get home the city's all lit up. But I just put that back on there. So that, as I said, that keeps it on. It's roughly about 2 months. So the batteries will last. They'll also get duller as they get older, but it'll light up for roughly 2 months, and it just sits there for the 2 months. As they coming on every day, 6 hours on, 18 hours off. So yeah, the main part, like the middle floors and the top floors of my city, can now light up on their own, without me having to do anything. So obviously, as I mentioned, I've got the lower end lit up as well, so I'll just light that while I'm here. But as I say, these go into USB, so the USB, I've got a few USB strips that I can basically plug them into, so that'll go into the strip and then it'll come on at the same time as the other lights in the city as well. But for now, I'll just put them into a battery pack, let you see them come on. As usual, put the USB in the wrong way up. I think everybody does that. There we go. So that's them on. So yeah, as you see, there's a wee bit of light coming through. Also the Space Diner has a light. You can see a bit better now the minifigures have been added to the set as well. So we've got the orange spaceman, space girl obviously, taking an order from the 2 workmen that are now sitting at the seats at the front there. And we've also got light, as you can see. I'll just put my finger in there, you can see that it's all lit up inside there. And we've also got some multicoloured lights at the front, just lighting up the frontage of the building as well. And there's a couple of red ones flickering away there as well, which is part of something else, which will come in a minute as well. But I'll get this pavement just filled up and make it look a bit more complete there. So there we are, I've got the proper line for the pavement in there now. I've taken it off, obviously put the minifigs on. So that's them all sorted out now. I've got the pavement all complete, the walkway. So yeah, that's it kind of lit up and done. I'll just give it a quick spin around the back so you can see. Also we have the window, which was part of the Space Diner set. It's shining through as well, so we've got the kitchen area lit up inside there, and it's obviously all nice and lit with the rest of it. You can also see down the stairs there as well, there's a light in the stairway there, which is lighting up obviously the inside, and the little door at the front as well gets some light from there as well. So that's pretty much it, all lit up. So there is one more piece to add on to it from the sets that we've been building, which you may or may not have worked out, but I will go and get it now and get it added to the build. And here's the missing part. This is the set now complete, the modular complete. That has the spaceship added on, obviously, which came as part of the space rocket launch set. That's the actual spaceship for it. So that's what the missing piece in the glass was. Let's turn it around a bit so you can see. So I've actually put in there's a couple of the 2x2 by 6, is it? Pieces that go on with the front studs on it, and that's gone into the missing part that was in the window space that you saw, which now has the blocks attached. You can all see in there. It has the blocks attached up there. There's also a battery pack there as well. That's the battery for the actual spaceship itself. So it actually has its own lights. You can see the red flashing there. So that's for obviously the rocket boosters and whatnot at the bottom. There's one in either of the side shuttles and the main shuttle as well. So that's why these two at the bottom are red as well. That's to match. It's to make it look like obviously the rocket's trying to take off. So the ones on the ground at the bottom, one there, and the ones at the bottom of the shuttle, they'll like fill up the doorway with red, and that's to try and, as I said, simulate a sort of takeoff sort of thing. So yeah, that's fully contained within itself. The lights are all running through the actual body and attached to the battery pack. Obviously, as I said, the back of the shuttle there, it has some lights on the front there as well, which is lighting up the office area as well. And at the bottom you can almost see it just at the gap there. There's a couple of lights in there as well, lighting up the internal, the middle, the visitor area. So that's all contained within the shuttle. It just turns on and off at the battery pack at the back there. So obviously I've got the choice of turning that on or not turning it on. If I don't turn it on, obviously these ones come on every day. If I do turn it on, I've got the full thing turned on. So that's basically the full modular there. Let's turn around so you can see it again. But yeah, hopefully that's I know it's quite a long video, but a bit of an in-depth look at the build, and obviously all the sets that are involved and built into the MOC. It is a full-size modular. As you can see, it's sitting next to the assembly square one there, which is actually sat probably a couple of inches higher than the space one at the moment, so that it's got a wee bit obviously to the table up there. So the space modular is actually slightly taller than the obviously a Lego official, the assembly square one there, mainly because obviously this floor here is quite large. Obviously doing the double size glass for the visitor area has increased it, because obviously the lower floors are usually the bigger floor, the middle floor not so much. So yeah, I've ended up having two larger floors for the ground and the middle floor, which has made the modular slightly bigger than normal. But obviously I had to compensate that for the fact that the shuttle was quite tall. It's obviously just touching the top of the video there. So it does have a bit over the top of the even the top here, obviously the dome with the telescope. It is still a little bit taller than that, but it is kind of within the size of the modular, so it's not too bad. But it is also quite a tall modular if you include the top of the shuttle as well. But yeah, that's my MOC space tower, as I've called it, because obviously it's all space related, and it's got a big spaceship stuck to the side of it, so space tower seems the obvious choice for it. But yeah, I'll need to get that into my city, and I'll need to find space to put it in the city at some point as well, and complete it. But that's it basically finished as it is, as a modular, standalone modular. That would be the build finished. It's taken me a wee while to do. Obviously I've been working on and off it since the Space Diner GWP was launched, but that's me finally got it kind of complete, and a stage I'm happy with. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed looking through the MOC. I hope you like what I've done with it, and also the usage of the Lego sets within it as well. If you have any comments, obviously if there's anything you think I've not done right, or anything you think I should add on to it, feel free to drop them in the comments, and I'll have a look through that. But for the moment at least, that is the Space Tower modular complete. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I'll hopefully catch you in one of my future ones as well. Thanks for watching, guys. Catch you later.